choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Deep be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm painting. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my...
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Craig. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The Niners at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is third down. Now Montana. Completes it to Samuel. And the 49ers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal. Up the middle they go. It's Craig, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. On second down, it's Craig, and he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. Here's Montana to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on fourth and goal. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, first and 10 at their 25-yard line. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. They run the counter. It's Alexander, and he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. Second down. Well, this defense for the Niners, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the 49ers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. Craig. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 75 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Craig. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Wilson. Taken in by the tight end Fant. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to air one out. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Niners are going to take over at their own 41. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Big Al Woods there to make the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Craig, and he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Montana. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. A nice throw right there. And Charles, this is game number 2 in the NFL for this young rookie. His guys getting the victory last week, and he played pretty well by most accounts. Curious, what did you see?
I saw something similar to what you described, Brandon, because I saw a guy who looked the part, a guy who was in command, not just with the touchdown passes, but definitely looked to be in control of the offense as well. And you and I both know that's often uncommon for a rookie quarterback.
The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. The slot man in motion right. On 2nd down now. It's Craig, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their number 1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
They will look to throw. Montana. Got his target, Samuel. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just out. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. To the right side and complete to Largent. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
On 1st down, Montana winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play. but he could not pull it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Montana. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Now in his 4th year, you still have to marvel at the type of athlete that DK Metcalf is. Honestly, unfair to ask some corners to lock this guy down, and as we know, not many can. 75 catches, a career high 12 touchdowns last season, and a first down with that catch there.
Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
They'll run on 1st down. Craig, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Montana. That'll be caught by Rice. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Montana going for it on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. First down, the run with Lynch. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks get a bit closer. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
On 2nd down, it's Craig, and he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Going to try to throw for it with Montana. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Now Wilson on 1st down. And, my goodness, another interception. And the Niners are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second down at 4. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Craig, and he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 155 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Craig. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
They'll set up to throw. Looking for the crossing receiver, and he's got him. It's Samuel. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Now a give right side. It's Craig, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They run the counter. It's Craig. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Returnable for Lockett. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Craig. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. From 4 yards out. And the 49ers are on their way to a 2-0 start. Gold with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Play action. Now Wilson. And now here's another interception. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock.
And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the 49ers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So now a two-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Wilson going to throw for it. He's got it. So they convert the two. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a two-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run the counter. It's Craig. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. So the victory here for San Francisco. I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover.
Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah.